Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us to learn about the new Arch Strong Girls Club. My name's Caitlin, and I serve as a support coach and lifeguard at Gains, our summer program. And also, I'm on the Arch Youth team. There's no need to take notes for this, it is a recording, so you can watch it anytime you want. If you have any questions after viewing this, you are welcome to call or email us, and we will give you the information at the end of the session. Here's our agenda for this evening. We're going to tell you briefly how this came about, what we're envisioning, what are the next steps, and if you would like to get a strong girl involved in this group. Here's Jennifer Horth to tell us more about that.
Thank you, Caitlin, and thank you all for joining us today. I've had the privilege of working with Arch clients and families since the 1980s. So how did we get here exactly? Well, back in 1991, Arch was asked by the Healthy Families Program in Waukesha County to teach a class about relationships for people with disabilities. Now, we had a great time creating and teaching that class, and we learned so much from the young people and their parents who were involved. It made us want to do more to equip young people with skills and awareness that they need to navigate adult life in the community. And then last year, we were fortunate to receive a grant from the State Department of Health Services with money from the American Rescue Plan. Now, since it's largely funded with this government grant money, there are some requirements that we have to observe, and we'll get to that in a minute. But what exactly is a Strong Girls Club? Well, let's pause for a minute. Think about all the hopes that you have for your special young woman. Where and with whom do you want her to live so that she's loved and feels valuable? Picture her happy, healthy, and taking care of herself, thriving in the company of friends at home and/or work. Now think about your worries and fears that might not happen, that your daughter might feel bullied or friendless, or worse yet, that she is taken advantage of financially or sexually, and even hurt. The Strong Girls Club is an effort to make the first scenario real for all of our special young women. It's for women with disabilities ages 15 to 35, and it is a series of meetings or classes where the girls will explore body image, self-confidence, and positive choices through discussion and activities in a safe space with staff and each other. Now, it does require a commitment, and we'll tell you more about that in a minute, but we anticipate that there will be wonderful benefits.
So, first, they will get to know other women in their age group who might have similar challenges to theirs, which is in an atmosphere where friendship can develop. Second, they will have a chance to ask questions about things that aren't covered or are quickly very covered in school. Things like how to stay safe in your community, who and how to ask for help, whether a cute guy that smiles at you is your boyfriend, or if you should go into a house of a nice neighbor that has a new dog. They will be encouraged to talk to you outside of class about how to achieve some of their goals. Maybe this will be a launch pad for plans and conversations at home. So, we mentioned that since this is a grant funded project, there will be certain requirements. We have to provide regular reports to the funders, and they request certain information. But don't worry, they do not ask for names or any identifying information of anyone that participates. The first and absolute most important requirement is attendance at all of the functions. There will be an assessment, which is meeting with staff, you and your special strong girl, and with a series of 15 classes, a recognition event at the end of all the classes, and a personal futures plan meeting, or possibly two meetings for each participant. There will also be a discuss at dinner or try this at home activities. We will send or email these home after each class. We might ask you to tell your strong girl about your first work experiences or ask you to work together to organize items for a family trip. It will vary each week. We also ask you to participate in personal future plans for your strong girl. This is a meeting where people that know and care about her gather to follow a process and craft a plan that may help guardians or other supportive people guide her in the future. Your role is to help us know who the people are that should be invited to this meeting. This could be relatives, teachers, pastors, neighbors, coaches, anyone, and to attend their meeting.
Now let's turn to a question that I know every busy parent has. When is this going to be? The answer is that a schedule will be determined for each group or cohort of young women according to their calendars. Now, a group might meet on a Tuesday evening or a Saturday morning. The number of women in each group will be determined by the needs and topics that seem most important for their personality and stage of life. To give you an example, we have a client that is 23 and drives herself to her job at TJ Maxx. We have another client that's 15 and doesn't drive or work and may not ever. And then there are people sort of at all stages in between. And that's where the assessment comes in. It's a chance for us to meet with you and your strong girl to help us think about who might be good together in a group. It's fair to assume that a group wouldn't be larger than 6 people. So right now, we can't tell you when the group will be meeting or how many people will be in it, but we can tell you that we're hoping to have group bonding. So once the schedule is set, it won't be possible to switch back and forth between groups or come to a different meeting from the one that's scheduled for your group. There might be more than one group going on during the same time period or season of the year, and each group might be going at a different pace or handling different topics in a different way. Another question you might have is there a cost for this? At this time, the only fee is an annual membership in Arch. That costs $75 per year or $25 if you live in a group home. And very often that's covered by funders like Iris or the Children's Long-Term Waiver. And we would be glad to help you arrange to have that membership covered if you decide to enroll.
So now let's talk a little bit about expectations. We know that you have been working for much of your special young lady's life to teach about some of these topics, and you are an expert about her. No series of 15 classes is going to magically prepare for her for anything in life that will come her way or ensure that the worst won't happen. But reputation has value, and so does hearing the same message from voices in addition to mom. There could be a lot of different opinions about what makes a strong girl or even what a strong girls club is. And as we describe our expectations, if they don't fit what you're looking for, that's okay. The way we intend to run it doesn't mean that it is right for everyone or that everyone will decide to participate. We need and want value. We need, want, and value your feedback. But we want to be very clear that we are doing this to prevent another Jennifer Daughtry situation from happening here.
Jennifer was a 29-year-old woman with an intellectual disability. And one day in 2010, she took a bus across her small Pennsylvania town to stay with a friend that she had met at a community center who invited her to stay overnight. When Jennifer arrived, there were 6 other friends there. And unfortunately, they tortured her in many horrific ways for 3 days before murdering her, wrapping her body in Christmas lights, and tossing her in a dumpster. We won't even talk about exactly what they did. It's too terrible. But suffice it to say that 2 of the individuals that did this are on death row for that crime. Now, maybe that wouldn't happen here, but I'll tell you about a neurotypical 14-year-old that was raped at a party because she didn't understand what a guy meant when he said certain things to her. And she quickly got in over her head and couldn't get out. Now, that can and does happen to a lot of women, regardless of their intellectual abilities. Preventing that means that we will sometimes talk about tough topics, like what swear words not to use in public, or synonyms for penis, or what information about yourself you shouldn't give to someone. We won't make any moral judgments about behavior other than whether or not it's likely to be safe. Know that we might send your strong girl back to you to have a conversation. For example, when we were doing these classes in 1991, a young lady asked what the word masturbation meant because she heard other kids talking about it. We gave sort of an unemotional, scientifically oriented explanation of the meaning of the word and told her to talk with her mother about whether or not that's acceptable in her home and family. And then when the word came up again, she proudly announced, "I can do that. My mom said it's okay." Remember again that these groups will all be for young women. Now, in some cases, it might seem like we're shattering dreams, but only if we're trying to redirect to something more achievable. For example, if you like to sing and your career goal is to be Beyonce, we might tell you that that won't happen because there already is a Beyonce. But if you like to sing, we can talk with you and your mom about ways and places that you could do that as a hobby, if not as a job.
Now, this is not therapy, and we're not therapists, so please don't fear that we intend to delve into anyone's personal background or physique. Girls may choose to share experiences with others in the class, and we will ask everyone to keep the information confidential, but we intend to keep the discussions more general because this is about developing coping mechanisms for adult life. So that brings us to what's next. If you decide that you're not interested at this time, that is fine. Not everything works for everyone at a given time. However, if you would like to continue this journey with your Strong Girl and us, please visit our website at www.archchangeslives.org. That again is www.archchangeslives.org. There you can complete a very short form to express interest. Then we will contact you and ask you to fill out an enrollment form and to schedule an in-person assessment. At this assessment, we will discuss a meeting schedule. Again, the website to enroll is www.archchangeslives.org.
Thanks, Caitlin. Before we go, please let us just say a few words about Arch, the organization that's offering the Strong Girls Club. We were founded by Waukesha County parents in 1952. These parents wanted a world where their children with disabilities would be included and valued. And we try to stay true to that mission by offering activities to build life experiences, like our outdoor summer recreation program, Gains, or the Teen Time social skills group for teens with disabilities and their neurotypical peers. We also offer IEP advocacy, transition planning, a special needs trust, and resources for adult services. Through our community education program, teen volunteer leaders like Caitlin provide presentations about acceptance of differences to reduce bullying in schools, companies, and faith organizations. We invite you to check out our website at www.archchangeslives.org.
Now, I know how you're feeling. We've covered a lot of information in this session. So please feel free to watch it again. And if you have any questions, we would love and be happy to speak with you. It's easy to reach us. Either email us at archoffice@archchangeslives.org or call us at 262-542-9811. That again is 262-542-9811. Sometimes we're out in the community and you will get a voicemail, but all messages are confidential and private. We will call you back within 2 business days. We're looking forward to meet you and your Strong Girl. Thank you for joining us today.